Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. Today we are going to take a look at the developments at Caribou Biosciences at the request of one of our subscribers. But before we go there, I have great news to share. As I record this video Saturday night, we have reached 2,000 subscribers. Thanks to everyone for helping us achieve this milestone in record time. We have jumped from 1,000 subscribers to 2,000 in just a matter of 1.5 to 2 months. That is incredible. So as promised, I'll have a live stream scheduled for Monday that is going to be at around 9 p.m. Toronto time. It would be suitable for both Asian viewers as well as North American viewers to tune in. And I'm hoping that we have a reasonable number of people on the live stream so that I'm not talking to an empty hall. So with that said, during the live stream, we'll pick up a winner and I'll send off the acrylic on canvas painting to the winner. So here is wishing you all the best. And if you have not yet put your name for the raffle, just scroll down in the description. I have given a link. Just enter your name. The cutoff is until I think 8 o'clock tomorrow latest. So that's about it as far as the announcement is concerned. I usually don't do live stream out of fear that I may be speaking to an empty hall. Please make sure that you give me company and turn up for the live stream. Even if I have 10 or 15 people, I'll be happy. So make sure you turn up. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Caribou Biosciences has a great pedigree and was founded in 2011 by James Berger, Jennifer Doudna, Martin Jinek, I think Jinek, I think it's pronounced Jinek, and Rachel Horowitz. Rachel is presently the president and CEO of the company. Their CRISPR IP comes from the CVC, and also Jennifer Doudna was one of the co-recipients of the Nobel Prize for finding CRISPR. And they have 6 therapies in their pipeline at this point of time. Of these 6, 2 are CAR-T therapies in discovery stage in collaboration with AbbVie. They have not been described in any detail as such. 3 therapies are CAR-T therapies for hematologic indications, of which CB010 and CB011 are in the most advanced phase 1 clinical trials, while CB012 is still in the discovery phase. Their sole CAR NK, that is natural killer cell program for solid tumor, is in discovery stage and is called CB020. So that's about their pipeline. Let's take a quick look at their price chart before we proceed further. For that, I'll take you into the TradingView chart and then we'll come back again to discuss their financials. Here we are in our TradingView platform looking at this chart for Caribou Biosciences. Each of these candles is a one-day candle. And I think the reason why people are wanting to know what's happening with Caribou Biosciences can be explained by this single candle out here, where the price fell from 7.32 all the way down to 6.46. That's a significant drop, and it happened on the 18th of January 2022. So if you look at the overall context, we are in a bear channel. We have been in this channel almost since 11th of November 2022. However, we started dropping from 15th of September 2022 with a bit of consolidation between 10th of October and all the way up to 9th of November. After that, we entered the bear channel and we have been in the bear channel since then. So it's been a steady downfall. And there are 2 significant drops out here. One of these drops out here, remember this one. This happened on 15th of June 2022. This is very significant because I'm going to talk about this later on in this video. But remember this huge drop. This is potentially one of the reasons why there's an investigation going on into Caribou Biosciences by Pomeranz Law. I'll talk about it later in the chapter. At this point of time, the MACD is also turning bearish. It's turning towards the signal line in a bearish manner, ready to cross over. And the momentum is also below average and anemic at this point of time. So it's not looking that great. There has been a little bit of equity dilution as well. There have been two public offerings of equity. We'll talk about that as well. But the chart doesn't look great at this point of time. And I think the market sentiments will also determine how this stock performs, because the rate of return has not been great for most genomic stocks, including Caribou Biosciences. And with the interest rates being so high, and the economic situation being so difficult, it's going to be difficult for most of the genomic companies, regardless of how great their technology is, to have full value. So it's understandable that Caribou Biosciences is lagging a bit significantly behind the industry as well as market in terms of valuation. With that said, I do not see any trend reversals here unless we have one more green candle on Monday. If we have one more green candle on Monday, then we can potentially look at a trend reversal. And then the next challenge will be this diagonal line of resistance out here, which it might encounter maybe 2 or 3 days down the line at somewhere around 7.05. And if we break that, then we are out of this bear channel. So that's what I would like to say in terms of its price charts. And I do not see any variance, bullish variance or bearish variance between the prices and the RSI, etc. So it's all straightforward. It's looking weak right now. That said, let's go on and have a look at some of the important events in the recent past. In July 2022, Caribou had a successful IPO and raised $304 million. Then again, on August 2022, they conducted an open market sale of newly issued stock amounting to somewhere around $100 million. So clearly, there has been a little bit of equity dilution. It may not be significant, but there has been some equity dilution. Apart from this, there seems to have been some other issues triggered due to the steep fall in share price as the data release of CB010 tanked the shares. Earlier this month, Pomeranz Law firm launched an investigation into claims on behalf of investors into circumstances surrounding the July 26th equity issue of 19 million shares priced at $16 each, and the press release on December 12, 2022, reporting new 12-month clinical data from Cohort 1 in the ongoing Antler Phase 1 trial that showed 3 of 6 patients maintained a durable complete response at 6 months, and 2 of 6 patients maintained the long-term complete response at 12-month scan. So given that this is the phase 1 trial where you basically look for safety, I personally felt, I had done a review of Caribou before, I personally felt that this is an overreaction. They are going to do a dosage increase, and they will run the next cohort on that, and I'm pretty sure that they will get some positive results, better results out there. But suffice to say that this the announcement of these results tanked the shares big time. As with most genomic companies, we do not have much news items about the company or their therapies. In the absence of information, it's very difficult to evaluate a stock. Here is some financial information that we have. I'm going to show you a slide. On the top right is the table that shows shareholder return of Caribou versus industry and the market for varying periods of time. So if you look at the first one, which is a 7-day, of course, 7-day, we should not look at this short-term period, 7-day, 30, 90-day. Let us look at 1 year. Over a 1-year time frame, Caribou Biosciences has a negative return for shareholder of minus 37.7%, whereas for industry it is 7.2% and for market it is 11.7%. So it's not looking that great for Caribou Biosciences. But next, let us look at how their share is held, the shareholder composition. So public companies form 3.4% of their shareholder. Individual insiders form 5.3%. Private companies form 5.5%. General public, that is you and I, hold 10.2%. Hedge funds have 15%. And institutions hold 60.6%. So the biggest shareholders are the institutions. So it's up to the institutions how deep their pockets are, how their risk profile is for their overall portfolio. That determines the fortunes of Caribou Biosciences. We, with just 10.2%, we do not have any influence on the share price of Caribou Biosciences. I think the institutions are the whales, and whenever they buy or sell, that can move the markets for Caribou Biosciences. So that's what I have to say with regard to the composition of shareholders. as well as the rate of return Caribou Biosciences is giving compared to its peer groups as well as industry. The pain of the Caribou Biosciences shareholder can be felt knowing that at all time periods, Caribou has underperformed the industry as well as the market significantly. So in terms of conclusions, what do I think? This investigation will provide a drag on the share, the investigation by Pomeranz law firm. And until that investigation is there is going to be a bit of a cloud. While the overall market sentiment is also weighing it down, as we saw in the price charts, the share is in a long-term bear channel and needs to break out of it to make any progress. As per estimates, though, these are analyst estimates, the revenue of the company is expected to grow at 36% per annum. However, the earnings of Caribou is expected to decline 21.9% per annum for the next 3 years, which means that despite increasing revenue, the earnings are not going to be meaningful. The earnings are going to be declining, and they're already negative. So that's the situation as far as Caribou Biosciences is concerned. However, they have sufficient cash in their balance sheet to provide a cash runway for next 3 years and slightly beyond that based on the current free cash flow. However, if they decide to step up their spend, then the cash runway can go low. If they decide to control their cash runway, then it can go longer. So it's all depending on how they manage their spend. And with the current inflation the way it is and the way their pipeline is, they have a better idea. And the moment they make some communication, probably in the next earnings report, we'll have a good idea of how much more their cash can stretch. But right now it seems like 3 years and slightly more. And if these earnings estimates which have been given by analysts are true, then profitability also seems to be 3 years away with interest rates so high and 2 or 3 programs in clinical trials, out of which CB010 and CB011 are the nearest to get FDA approval, and they still have a long way to go. So I would say that profitability is at least 3 years ahead of us. And in this current high interest rate environment, investors can make more money with less risk elsewhere, and investors may find it attractive to avoid negative returns and so much of risk at this point of time. And that could be one of the things that's putting a drag on the share price of Caribou Biosciences. As with most genomic companies having therapies on clinical trial, it's difficult to predict the future trajectory because firstly, we do not have all the information that the company has about the progress of the therapy, how good it is, or what kind of a situation the company is in with regard to those clinical trials. And secondly, we cannot predict what would happen at the FDA because the genomic medicine is relatively new to FDA and they're rapidly staffing and improving their capability to administer their oversight and overall process for these approval process for these novel therapies. So that's also a wild card out there. I think I don't have any more data points from which to draw on. So that's all from me for now regarding Caribou Biosciences. At this point, it looks weak, but you never know. Maybe when the market sentiments change, there'll be more risk appetite and then things can pick up. Please let me know what you think about it. And if you have any additional information that I have not mentioned out here, please mention it in the comment below. The entire community can benefit from it, and I can include that in my future updates on Caribou Biosciences. Well, before I leave, I would like to remind you once again that we have a live stream tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Toronto time, which will be around 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time and around 6 p.m. San Francisco time. And during the live stream, we are going to pick up the winner for the acrylic on canvas artwork that I have made, and I'll be sending it across. So tune in. Don't let me hanging in there. I need a good audience out there so that we can really enjoy the 2,000 subscriber that we have hit. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.